Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. It's time for the bulk reviews. See this fat stack? Let's get started. Okay, so basically, y'all know what's up with X-Men, the Powers of X. All right, some of y'all rightfully called me out that Dawn of X is not an actual one-shot coming out. Could have fooled me because they red banned it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so why don't you just red band all the individual ones? I don't get. Why'd you put a red band on it? Anyway, that threw me off too, and I looked, I was like, well, I guess they're doing. Anyway, so I was wrong. Y'all called me out. Good luck. Keep me honest. I'll keep you all honest. All right. Anyway, go check out the spoiler review. It was 57 minutes long. I swear I didn't realize it was going that long. Anyway, amazing freaking book. Amazing freaking story. Miles Morales, issue number 11. This was really good. I'm also going to throw up Miles Morales Absolute Carnage, issue number 3 of 3. It is of 3. They're saying continuing in Absolute Carnage, issue number 4, out next week. All in all, man, these were great. Both by Saladin Ahmed, both excellent works, keeping in continuity with each other. I'm very happy that they didn't just put this in with this and they made it a separate thing, but that Saladin also wrote it as well. So this way, it's still an expanded story. We still get the regular storyline going, yet there's still that continuity of the same guy writing them. So, Absolute Carnage tie-in for The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 31. This was not the greatest issue that I've read, but it was still really good, very enlightening. Go check out my review. I have my opinion of who Kindred actually is. These are going to fall. Let me put these all down here instead. How about the Batman's Grave, issue number 1. I did not like this book very much. I actually wasn't going to do a review on it, and I found myself putting together 5 things about it, so there's that. But this was, yeah, I'm hoping it's going to get a lot better, but right now it's not, one of those Warren Ellis, oh my god, can't wait for the next one. I'm just like, I'm going to give the next one a shot because it's Warren Ellis, Let's talk about issue number 1013 of Detective Comics. It's Peter Tomasi. It's freaking awesome. Nora comes back. What? Yeah, this was pretty good. I'm digging it. Definitely digging it. Batman and the Outsiders, issue number 6 of a 6-issue arc, but it doesn't feel like there was any kind of closure to it. Just feels like it's going to keep going on. I haven't talked to Mr. Hill in a while, but he said in the the podcast that I did where he showed up and I got to interview him for about an hour. He pointed out that he's got stories at least to issue number 8. So I'm assuming that means that this storyline will wrap up in issue 8. Whether it does or not, don't care. I think it's amazing. I'm loving it. The introspection on each individual character, fantastic. Hawkman, issue number 17. Robert Venditti. There we go. So Bob Venditti. He went and made a comment on a post. Tim Board, leader of Hawk World, the head hawk of Hawk World, goes and makes a comment on there. Oh, Professor Bill had some interesting, comments on, because I thought that Robert Venditti was actually basing this off of Purgatorio, the the middle book of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. He goes and comments back, oh, hey, thanks, but no, I never read any of those books. Wow, that's disappointing. But anyway, I still like the story. It's going really well. It's very fantastic. Let's talk about the one-shot Joker featuring writing by John Carpenter. Yes, that John Carpenter. This is a great book. Go and check out my review for that. It's a gushing review. It's really good. Issue number 80 of Wonder Woman. It's... G. Willow Wilson will be going pretty soon. Orlando will be writing it. Hopefully it'll be good. We'll see what's up. Here was a pretty amazing book. Dr. Doom, issue number 1. I enjoyed this thoroughly. I've got something in the back of my... I don't think I like that very much, but I definitely enjoyed the hell out of this book. There were a couple of comedic parts that I really didn't appreciate coming from Dr. Doom, but seriously, that aside, great story, good art, and just I'm really looking forward to seeing where this plot goes because it's deep. It's definitely deep. Plus, especially the guest appearances from certain villains trying to pretty much kill Dr. Doom. Contagion, issue number 2. Yes, this is set in the Marvel Earth 616. There's mentions of it. Like, I didn't realize so many people were going to be like, well, where's this set in? It's a regular miniature self-contained event in this 616. It's all. But it's hot. I like it. I like it a lot. Issue number 80 of The Flash. This is also kind of a weird one, but they did have a lot of scary Black Flash in it. and it looks like Barry may have died in this. He might have gotten himself deaded. they're like that cover. I didn't realize that was such a spoiler. Wow. Wow. Now let's talk about the books that I didn't do reviews for. Issue number 5 of 6 of Event Leviathan. I didn't dig this at all. At all. I sat here and reading this, and it's like just a whole bunch of spurious points. I'm going to be honest with you also. I tried to read this. I don't think I got past the 3rd page, and I just started skimming through, finding parts. It made it hard to understand the end of it. I still didn't go back and read the whole book. Hate me if you want. I really don't care. But I mean, this, like from here on, I read exasperatingly, and I just didn't get it. It was so choppy, so misplaced, so all over the place. I hated it, genuinely hated it. Leviathan reveals himself, and somebody's like, oh my god, but we don't know. We don't get to see it. Only Superman gets to see it. So yeah, that's always fun. Did not like it at all. Not one iota. Read Supergirl issue number 35. This wasn't great because they're tying in with Leviathan. How about this? Everything seems to be tied in with Brian Michael Bendis with this book, all right? Trying to explain things that were going on over there with Rogal Zar that weren't explained over here, but then it turns out that they're all either misdirections purposely, or Brian Michael Bendis just says, say this stuff. Ha, sucker, I'm giving you bad information, because the stuff turned out to be wrong, so that kind of pissed me off a big way. I don't know if Comic Boom actually did a review for this issue, but go and check out his channel anyway. He does great reviews for these, and I really want more people to check out his channel. So comic_boom ! Maybe I'll say something in the bottom of this video, and you can just click his link. But yeah, this wasn't a great issue because they're trying to do the Leviathan stuff, and he literally shows up for like a couple of panels and he disappears. I'm like, dude, I'm so beyond this. And then she's talking about falling in love with people. Yeah. Here's something interesting. Wonder Twins issue number 8. This was a really fun issue. It wasn't nearly as political as the other ones were, so if you're bothered by all the politics, come on back, because this is a really joyous ride. The characters are actually get really in depth in here, and there's still plenty of, like, it's Mark Russell. There's plenty of humor well placed in here. One of the Wonder Twins, not mentioning who, but you know who, becomes a pit boss in a gambling casino. In a high school. Dude, no, this was at a high school reunion. Dude, this is a fantastic book. I really wish that this was going past 12 issues. Maybe it will. It wasn't supposed to go past 6. So maybe it will. Hopefully. Here's hoping. Here's White Fox issue number 1. It's actually a one-shot. We actually get the origin of the Kumiho, according to the Marvel Universe. We get a whole bunch on Korean history, more specifically Korean mythology. And this was a really fun book. There's a Young Avengers thing in the back. Captain America kind of appears a little tiny bit-ish in the back. I don't actually care about the Future Avenger story, not Young Avengers. It's a Future Avenger story. I genuinely didn't care for it at all. I could give 2 squirts. But the White Fox story was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. I love that they explained where the other Kumiho went, the history, why she doesn't shape change very often. I dug that. Here's issue number 2 of Web of Black Widow. This wasn't nearly as good as the first issue. This is actually the first time I'm ever saying that about a Teenie Howard book. This is Teenie Howard, right? Positive it is. I get a Mary Jane variant, and all of a sudden, like, nobody wants to say who made the darn book. But, yeah, oh, Jodie Houser, sorry, not Teenie Howard, Jodie Houser. It's the H last names, simile. Anyway, yeah, this was not great. It's funny, they bring in the Winter Soldier in here, and they reintroduce the idea that they've had a love affair constantly and blah, 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 and then they start fighting for absolutely no reason whatsoever. The end of this was kind of intriguing because Black Widow escapes from a sinking, exploding boat, and she sees the Black Widow getting away on a motorbike, a jet ski. Yes, I didn't stutter, I didn't mispronounce anything, I didn't misstate anything. You heard exactly what I said, and I meant it. Black Widow sees Black Widow getting away. Let's see what's up with that. Usagi Yojimbo, issue number 5. This was a beautiful book, pretty much about domestic violence and about, I wouldn't say toxic masculinity, because I don't think that's really in I know his name is Stan Sakai. I don't think it's really in Stan Sakai's wheelhouse, but this was a guy who, in America, we would call toxic masculinity. He actually had a serious problem with himself. He has a lot to figure out with himself. Don't know if he's going to be able to after this ending, but he was genuinely a bad guy. He was the exact opposite of what you would want a samurai to be. Unfortunately, historically, he was. And seeing Usagi so helpless in this was actually really heartbreaking. Let's talk about the Superior AOC. This was just freaking hysterical. Tommy Loren is in this, and she only for like 2 panels, and she is hot, but yeah, as dumb as can be. And even dumber is Ben Shapiro, who shows up in this. Plenty of short jokes. I enjoyed it. Also, what's cool is that there's an advertisement for Andrew Yang in the back. You know what I didn't notice? I didn't see if it said that it was paid by Andrew Yang, which is pretty interesting. Huh. Anyway, hey man, I think that he's definitely a front runner. He's definitely a front runner. He's one of the top 3 right now, right? Anyway, this was a fun book. Lots of nice, scantily drawn women. Let's talk about issue number 8 of The Magnificent Miss Marvel. Did not enjoy this issue. This is not one of those Saladin Ahmed books that I enjoyed. I really liked the first arc. After that, the previous and this issue, not feeling it at all. I'm literally just like, this book can't seem to go by fast enough. I'm not enjoying this. I moved this to bulk reviews, as you could tell. Apparently her suit is going to try and kill her now. Gee, what a shame. This boring-ass suit. Anyway, yeah, there's that. Gwenpool Strikes Back, issue number 3. Somebody told me to listen to a soundtrack while I was reading this. I couldn't find the post. I don't remember where it was, so I don't remember what the soundtrack was. This was still a fun issue, though. There's references to The Sims in here and Fight Club and all sorts of crazy good stuff in here. It's just a typically fun book. I enjoyed this. Leah Williams on this and David Baldeón, Jesus Abertov. The art is fantastic. It's not just this gorgeous cover. Like, the art inside it's perfect for the story, and it's really Gwenpool in her perfect form. She's using her reality manipulation powers better than ever. Kind of hoping to see her with Quentin Quire, though. Disappointed that's not the case. Invaders, issue number 10. This issue started to get really clouded, like it's in cloudy, murky waters right now. Still enjoyable as hell. Still a little bit weird. Something like Cap wasn't supposed to be able to turn back, but he turned back, and he winds up doing the same thing to Namor, which was very much to me like, oh, well, that's different, and I'm very curious where that's going. The next issue indicates it's going to be very dialogue heavy, and I genuinely hope that it is. I would be okay if it was literally just Cap and Namor sitting down on an island talking and nothing else happening. I don't need them fighting each other. Talk about fighting each other. Cap took a full punch by Namor and survived. That's some super soldier serum for you right there. Cap's I don't care if he could dish it out. He took it like a champ. The last book is Karate Kid. The Karate Kid saga continues with Cobra Kai issue number 1 from IDW Comics. I really like this back. It actually gives you an idea of what's going to happen inside. It starts off with 3 years before, like when Johnny first joins the Cobra Kai. So it's about 3 years. About 3 years before the events that we saw in the first movie. The events that end in this book. It ends with him driving away and showing regret for what happened on the beach between him and Daniel and Allie. And but it takes place in the modern day with the new Cobra Kai series that's out, the YouTube Red series. I still haven't watched season 2. Like, geez, I seriously have to get on that. But this was a really fun comic book. I enjoyed it. I had 0 issues with this whatsoever. It was cool seeing the background. I'm hoping we're going to get more into, what Johnny was thinking during the whole time. They're not trying to... Some of the dialogue is changed from the original movie, but the spirit, the theme isn't actually being changed. So it's not about them correcting something or changing it like, oh, Johnny was right. No, they're literally just making it, how does Johnny feel about the things that he's done? And how did he get to where he's going? There's also a mention of Alphabet's cereal in here, which I miss Alphabet's cereal. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.